All right, here we are, Black Rock Hot Springs on the Rio Grande River, just north of Taos. And I'm sitting here with Steven. Steven, what's going on?
Not too much. I'm just on my way back from a moving job. I work part-time on weekends for a moving company back in Dallas, and I had a opportunity to move someone to Boulder, so I stopped here on the way back.
So your job gives you the opportunity to travel?
Yeah. I mean, normally it's not really the ideal travel. This was just a lucky pit stop.
What are some of the highlights of your trip aside from here, of course? This trip.
I would say the other highlight was, Boulder's just a great town.
Yeah.
And
I've actually never been.
I got to go in the river a couple times. I wish I spent a little bit more time in the water there. I mean, the water here is like it's actually really comfortable, but the water in Boulder in the river was just like just makes you feel alive.
Yeah, I get it. So you practice the Wim Hof techniques? Or just relaxation?
I've dabbled. I wouldn't say that I regularly practice, but I'm familiar with it, and I would like to revisit it.
So what was the first time you've ever been to a hot spring, a natural hot spring?
I think it was actually this one.
No way.
Probably like 15 years ago. No, probably like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in college, and I had a friend who was considering opening like an olive oil store in Colorado. And so we stopped here on the way up to Colorado.
Cool.
So that was my first time ever.
So had they been here? They're showing you a spot they had been to before?
No, I don't know. He hadn't been here either.
Cool.
I think he did more of the research for the trip. But yeah, he found out about it, and we looked it up, and there we were.
So do you make a lot of connections? You're very personable. You make a lot of connections on the road?
Yeah. It kind of depends. I mean, I would say on a moving trip, not as many, normally, but yeah, I'm a lot better, I feel like, at making connections than I am about staying in contact.
Well, yeah, there's beauty in the moment. Sometimes people cling to the past, and it's like you can meet someone once, have a beautiful time, and not need to keep in touch. It doesn't take away from the beauty. Some people struggle with that, though.
Sure. Yeah.
So I get it. Some of the people watching this might not, though.
Yeah.
Why didn't he call me back?
So yeah, I just I mean, I think I would say part of it is I do appreciate like face-to-face communication a lot more than any other forms. I mean, in our day and age, so much communication is through digital means, and it's just I feel like it's a lot less personal.
Agreed. Yeah. So what are some of your goals for travel coming up in the next year or two? Do you have any, or does your life give you the opportunity?
That's a good question. I would say to really get back into it, because I have not I have not traveled near as much in the last several years as I did prior to that. I did get to go down to Guatemala right before the pandemic shutdowns. That was great. One of the highlights out there was a hot waterfall.
Wow.
And that was something.
So
but as far as goals, I would say
not so much destinations, but just goals.
Yeah, just to travel a lot more and find a job that would allow me to have more time to do so.
Cool.
And, yeah.
Well, if that's what you want, that's what the universe will call to you, so that's awesome. Let's see, I'll ask one more fun question, maybe a tough one.
Okay.
All right, this is a crazy out there. Do you have any fish that got away? Any stories of fish that got away? You don't have to share that story, but...
Sure, I do, yeah.
You want to share it?
I don't know, I'll keep it to myself.
So he does. All right, well, that's a good answer. I appreciate your time. I'm going to jump over to someone else now, but thank you so much, and nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'll catch up after this little foray with the camera. Sure. Here's the naked pool where I was. All right, so I didn't catch your name. What's your name?
Walt.
Walt, so nice to meet you.
How you doing, bud?
Fantastic. What's going on, Walt? What are you doing out here?
Hey, just on a hot spring tour.
So what calls you to the hot springs?
Just healing. 8 years ago, I couldn't walk. I had 2 brand new hips put in. Part of my healing was walking, and to start hiking, well, I had to have a destination, so I started hiking to hot springs. This is my 29th one now.
Well, dude, you're in great shape. So.
Thanks, man. 55 years old yesterday.
No way. Happy birthday.
Thank
wow.
you.
So, tell me where you've been so far. What are some of the better places in the past couple weeks, or some cool experiences?
Valley View in Colorado is absolutely one of my favorite. I went to Rainbow Hot Springs, backpacked it 5 miles in and out. It was awesome. Been to Orvis and Ouray. That's a great one. Verde Valley in Arizona. I just left there before I came, so kind of making a tour doing it.
Now, wasn't there one you went to that was run by the Russian mafia?
Oh, that's the one I haven't been to. That's Eden. The Russian mob supposedly, oh yeah, now they're gonna whack me. It's Eden. It's one that I'm trying, you have to be invited to. It's the one that the Doors and the Stones used to go to.
Is that the one shaped like a guitar?
It's shaped like a guitar.
Nice.
It's the only one I haven't been to in Arizona.
So, do you enjoy the travel aspect or more than the destination, or?
The quest of finding them, and the people. The people are incredible. I mean, I have met travelers, I've met millionaires, naturists. It's the journey and it's the aura.
Now, Walt, you don't seem to have any trouble making friends, huh?
No.
What's your point of view as far as nudity and like clothing optional at the springs? Do you feel like it's good to go naked?
I'm a naturist. So
what are some tips for maybe people that have never been to a hot spring? Just be ready to, people might be naked, or should people tell their kids about it ahead of time?
when everybody's naked, you're all even. You could be a traveler or a millionaire. When your clothes are off, everybody's even. And the thing about it, you can be big, tall, short, fat. And it's really wrong to say this, but you won't be the worst looking one there.
Yeah.
So it's internal healing for your body when you can accept your body and really don't give a shit what everybody else says.
Yeah.
Life is good.
So when people come to hot springs, even if no one's naked, they should just take their clothes off and get in, right?
Well, I think everybody should anyhow, but that's just me.
Heck yeah. Well, no, for sure. Yeah, like we crammed like what, at least 9 of us in there.
Oh,
naked.
at least.
Just now.
So yeah, it's great.
Cool. So have you always been into that type of lifestyle? I mean, are you a nudist? I don't mean to go all deep, but or just more about the springs.
No, I and the springs is making me more aware. I kind of have my whole life. We was joking about it, a bunch of friends of mine. I always sleep nude.
Yeah.
It's nothing for me. So
yeah.
I guess I've always been one and just didn't know it.
That's so cool. Are you from the East Coast?
No, I'm from the West.
Where
Definitely
at?
the West.
Where at?
Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. I'm from Colorado, but I've lived in Arizona for 35 years.
All right. Well, let's see. What is your next destination? You gonna come up to the Rainbow and party your ass off?
I'm thinking about it.
We need you there.
I'm thinking about it very seriously.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I learned a term this week that I really enjoy. I'm a time millionaire. You know, there's millionaires with no time. I'm a time millionaire right now.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm thinking about in about a week doing a hot spring tour, gathering a bunch of those hippies and doing a caravan. If I did, should I hit you up?
Nah, I got to be back at work for a while where I can pay for all of it.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just have to run into each other because I'm a hot spring fanatic too.
Oh, hey, Idaho's calling me, man.
I was just there. Beautiful, yeah.
I've never been. That's my next destination.
Well, I like tough questions, and if you don't mind, I'll throw you a curveball. And I asked Steven, but it's a very personal question. So.
Oh, I'm scared. What?
Do you have any fish that got away? Like traveling? Have you ever met someone that just like you maybe wanted to make that connection and didn't? Or
last week at Valley View, I met a lady from Denver, and we hit it off. And it was her last day leaving, and it's one of them that we had a great connection. And eventually, the way Orr is, I'll probably. Hopefully run into her again.
You know it. I like that attitude. Cool. And does she know that she's going to run into you, you think?
Oh, I would most definitely.
That's so
I'm
cool.
not forgettable.
I would have to agree. Well, cool. So any words of advice for people that are, trying to go travel solo? They might be kind of scared. They might be unsure. Anything to suggest for people that are like wanting to do it but unsure?
Trust your gut. I've met great people. If you have a weird vibe, get out. Because there are strange people, but 99% of them are awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Walt. I'm so glad I got to meet you.
You got it, man.
I'll see you around at the hot springs. And maybe tonight at dancing. We'll dance our asses off tonight.
Maybe.
All right, cool. See ya.